This is day 4. I rode at 1500. I gained about 50 rating points yesterday. Played like 10 games. So we're just gonna play one rapid game. I'm gonna explain every single move using like imbalances, general principles, forcing moves. I'm gonna teach you how to think, and let's just get started. I think this might be good, but I don't know the full theory. It's like the England gambit, right? But we can just go here, match them. They're playing the London system. I used to know a line that was really good against the London system, but I don't remember what it was. So usually I just attack their bishop because I just don't want to let them do the London system. Maybe I just go knight here and try to threaten that. So you can't just let your opponent do whatever they want. You gotta be threatening. So now I get to attack their bishop. And then I can develop here. Try to get him traded off. Take some space, push the pawn forward. Knight can't go there because this pawn. So this is going pretty good so far. Probably might go here. Just gotta develop pieces. Guess I'll have to go here. But then the take is a mistake though, so I'm gonna try to force them to trade off the bishop, and I'll recapture with my bishop. And then I'll have the bishop developed for free, pretty much, just trading. Oh no, what in the heck? He's gonna take this pawn. Then I'm gonna attack him with my knight. Very weird. See, I always let my opponents do this. Attack, get the queen out early, and stupid stuff like that. I don't see what's wrong with this. They can't do anything else with their queen, really. And also defends this pawn. It's a really good move. Okay, so they're trying to maintain pressure and just control this diagonal. Can't go there because pawn takes. I would fork the queen and the bishop. I don't know, let's just go here, try to get them to trade. You know, you're not supposed to push pawns like this, especially since I already lost the pawns on the E and F files. They're already developed, so I can't really castle that way. I kind of have to castle queenside. But fortunately, they allowed me to develop my bishop like I wanted. They're probably just going to castle and try to attack my queen now. So I'm going to have to move my queen. And I can try to trade queens. What the heck, dude? Come on. What are you trying to do? It's check, so I can't do anything except block with the queen or the bishop. Like, if you want to trade queens, I'm fine with that, honestly. I prefer that. But I'm not going to develop my bishop. I think that just kind of hurts my development. Hurts my queen. He's not threatening anything. That's defended twice. It's defended by the queen. What if he did like a bishop here? No, you can't really pin my king again. He's not going to take that. Or 3 versus 9. But if it was like a knight or something, don't really want to double the pawns. This goofball. Like, if he goes over here again, I'm just going to attack him with the bishop then. Love that. Eventually gonna castle, have this rook on this nice open file. Okay, so he's probably gonna castle now, then I'm gonna castle immediately after. That's what he saw, maybe? He just wanted to get that pawn. Well, it is pretty annoying. So I'm gonna attack it with this, even though it hangs this. But I can just move my knight again, and this bishop will defend it, and hope that he doesn't bring his bishop back here. But I might honestly just castle this way. Like, if I'm expecting him to castle this way, I prefer opposites like castling. I can push these pawns. And either way, my pawn structure is kind of bad. So this might not have been the best if I'm going to have to move it again to defend this pawn. So like I could have just done this, simple. And then, but then the bishop's kind of blocked in there because it's supposed to defend that. And it's better to have a rook here, this file, because it's open and the pawns are gone. And that just lets me attack you again because knight defends that. Alright, thanks. Double pawns, buddy. That was a very weird decision. And also helped me develop my bishop there again. So he's probably going to try to like go here. So I probably definitely better just castle this way. Okay, can I immediately threaten to capture that pawn, I think? Okay, good move. Prophylactic thinking, prevent the knight from coming. Gotta keep the bishop here to defend that. Low-key waiting to see, wait for him to castle, then castle opposite direction. But, though, probably it's better to castle this way. Attacks the pawn. That kind of hurts your pawn structure, no? No, I'm gonna take that again. Yeah, I think he messed up there. Except another knight. But if I could get this knight to move, I could take this pawn, attack the rook. Also, this kind of helps defend the file. Is there like some tactic, right? Take one of these pawns. No. Because this knight defends that. So I can't really fork. But I could. Maybe. I don't know. Is it even good to castle? Or should I just bring my king into the center? Because you're supposed to develop your king in the endgame. Let's do this first. Essentially activate one of the rooks, and then we'll decide what to do with this one. So maybe I'll just go here and then here. So do I want the rook here on f8? I don't know. I could push this pawn forward. Dang it. Because then to capture this. If they retake, attack the rook. So they can't take the pawn or else I take the rook. I don't know if I think this is good or something. I mean, maybe, I guess. If it took that way. They are attacking this bishop, so I should probably just take their knight, right? Except I do have a rook here too, so maybe I could do that. I don't know. The position is open, sort of, so it is better to have knights than bishops, I feel like. So it's better for me to just trade, I suppose. Even though to take is a mistake, it does help them push their pawn forward one more square. But I just don't like that. I could either defend it, maybe. But then they could attack. No, they can't. They can't. Fortunately, they can't attack my rook. I could go here. And they're still kind of stuck. I can try it. If they take the bishop now, my rook takes, and I'll be attacking this again. Oh, they're trying to develop their king. I feel like maybe I go here and then here. Get this rook centralized. And I could attack this pawn. Plus I also defend my bishop. I don't want to allow him to go here, but I can't really do anything about it. And this pawn does still do a good job there. I can't take... Do I want to take the knight while I have the chance? Pawn here. Not really, I don't think. The knight is actually pinned to the sort of, because this, I'll take this pawn. Like this, sort of. If he pushes this pawn, I'm just pushing mine, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna blockade it. These pawns do a good job supporting each other. So there's 2 against 1 sort of, but this one is 2 against 2. And here I've got 2 connected pawns again. So I do like how their pawns are isolated, or not, there's a gap between the files. So the edge pawns in these 2 files are easy to attack. So now if I do this is forced. But is that even good? Oh, look at this. They blundered rook. You always gotta ask yourself, what did my opponent accomplish from their last move? So I forget the name of that certain type of mistake. But it's the fact that your piece opened like a diagonal. Yeah, so I'm up 2 points material now after that. But I was down 3 points. 2 pawns. Interesting. Now I just trade off material. So it's actually just even. They've got 2 pawns, but I've got 2 rooks. I think I just double up and attack this, and there's literally no way to defend except I could move the knight. So I'm probably going to start moving these. I think I should try to... But then if they just move their knight, then my rooks are just useless here. Maybe we move my king forward more. Or do we just try to threaten it? Because it forces this move, I suppose. Forces their knight to go backwards. Let's try it. Then we'll move our king forward before pushing these. Well, we could just go here, then here. I think I'll move my king forward first. And then towards the center, because I might need to go to this direction at some point. Okay. Do I need to go this way, actually? Because this pawn covers this square. If I go here, he could go here and prevent me. But then I'll push my pawn. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's just go move the king. Then I'll go here, and then I can move this pawn. Because then my king here will defend these 2 squares. Can I not just play this? Completely block that idea? But then when he moves here, I will be forced to take. I don't know. And this also, now this pawn is weak. Has to be defended by my rook. Things got to take note of. Now he's about to let me just come in here easily. If not, I'm just going to push the pawn. Okay, thanks, buddy. I just got in. You're cooked. Everything's defended, fortunately. About to take this pawn. It's literally like almost nothing they can do about it. I don't think so. But yeah, this is everything's defended. I'm just chilling. Okay, maybe that's good. If this, then this, then this pawn is still defended, I suppose. Be traded pawns. Just opens up the file for him, but Yeah, and like I said, these are two rooks are actually kind of doing nothing now. So I'm gonna have to move this rook, defend, keep the pawns defended, and then move this other rook and try to do something. Probably go on this open file when it becomes open. But yeah, I'm not afraid of this. He pushes, I take, and then this pawn's still defended by the rook, and I can still take this pawn. But maybe my king will be a little vulnerable being on his side of the board. But all he has is like a rook, really. Like maybe his knight. I think taking is definitely better than waiting for him. Yeah. I think big mistake there, buddy. I don't know. Maybe should I develop first, or maybe just take the pawn first? Because if yeah, he could put me in check after taking this pawn. So first, maybe I'll take the pawn while I can, and then I'll have to come back potentially. Oh, you know what else I could do? I could literally put my rook here. I could take one of these pawns because this pawn is pinned to the king by the back rook. So this is impossible so long as the king is still in this file. Nice tactic. I don't have as much time as I usually do, but I still have a decent amount of time. Yeah, I think I'll take this while I can. Then I'll just move the rook. This I might go with this idea. Okay, I just get to attack the rook. Good thing this pawn's still defended by my rook. Should I try this idea or should I? But then he takes my pawn. Yeah, no, I think I just develop my rook to this open file and just forget about this other tactic idea I had. Hey, attack the rook again. Now I could go here and threaten that, force them to go back. But then the rook will. I would do kind of want to pin the knight too to the king. But they got to move their rook, so we got to be careful now. I think I should start pushing this pawn, honestly. But then I could allow them to hit me with the. That'd not be good. Trade? Why are you trading? Oh, because he's going to be able to push his pawns forward. Whoops. I didn't mean to click that necessarily. I'm just going to right click and drag. I'm not worried about it because my rook can just sacrifice if need be. I should be worried about it because I always get to this end game position where there's a bunch of pawns coming at me, even though I'm up a rook. And I usually lose one time I drew. The time I got to draw in that position. Nice move, develop. Knight. I kind of want to move my king. Nope, that'd be a fork. But just to prevent him from going forward. Yeah, he should be scared right now because this pawn is becoming a queen. You can't come close to me because the king and this rook. Rook here? If I would have went rook up one, then could attack me again. But I think he might not be able to attack me now. I could have even went here. That would have been probably much better. Now he's going to try to go here to attack me, but then I'll just put him in check with the rook like I planned. And it'll be 2 squares away. Okay, I don't know what that does because I've got a queen. Very happy with this. No, but I still could lose it somehow. Mess up. Only have. Oh shit. It's my turn. I only have 15 seconds. Yep. Okay. It's not good. It's not good. At least now we got this knight probably. Could just pre-move this. Yep, I think we're good now. Perfect. We're low on time, but we got that win. Converted that in game. Maybe a quick analysis. Nothing too deep. just to see base level. Okay, got a slightly higher accuracy than my opponent. We missed a winning opportunity in the middle of the game. 24 best moves, 6 more than 18. Love to see that. 1100 ratings. This is a little low, I guess. Okay, I really want to know what that is I missed, but start. Weakened my king. Yeah, so that's not really the best move, but I got a strategy to do that opening. Yeah, they made a lot of mistakes with their early in the game. Missed. Interesting. I didn't see that move. That would have been pretty good, because then my pawns wouldn't be connected anymore. Blunder. Yep, saw that. I like that. This was a great move. I was just trading pieces. It's the principle. If you have material, trade pieces. And then of course they force to take with this pawn, so it's a little forcing. I guess then I could have went here and attacked that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Miss. Oh, like I was saying, I could have took that pawn because this pawn is pinned to the king by our rook. Should have saw that. I guess I don't see a lot of those tactics. I just see like the most obvious ones. There was just one move that worked for them, and this wasn't it. It's making the pawns stronger. They made a mistake. Yeah, so like I said a second ago, should have attacked that pawn. I knew this was going to be bad because you're going to commit your rooks to this idea. It doesn't work anymore because it's knight. So I knew that, but I should have applied my knowledge and done something about it. Moved my other rooks and just get them somewhere else. Forced. King, yeah, they should have moved their king. I kept trying to prevent their king from getting close to mine. It's not the right move. Why is that only good? Don't get that, but we can analyze that later. Yep, attack the rook. I don't know why he did that. That was a bad move. Lots of mistakes from my opponent, especially trading the rooks. If you're down material, you want to not trade so you can have fighting chances. Pushing the pawn, get that queen. Of course, best move. Good. So what was better there? Not that it matters a whole lot. Threatening mate in 1. That's an obvious tactic. I could have saw that if it would have thought for like 2 seconds probably. But just go for the check because I'm losing. I mean, I'm down on time, so I'm worried. Then I noticed the king is pinned to the knight is pinned to the king, so put pressure on the pinned piece. Attack with the rook. I don't know why they pushed their pawn. Probably should have moved their king, maybe. Oh, the other pawn's better. Oh. Excellent. It's better checkmate. The rook, yeah, there you go. But we still found one. Back. This is a ladder mate, sort of. You got these 2 ranks recovered. Love that. There we go. Back to 1250. Hopefully learn something from that. Consider subscribing, turning on notifications. Make this a consistent habit to watch puzzles, solve puzzles, watch my process solving games. So consider subscribing and supporting my channel. Thanks so much for watching.